What's going on, family? It's your big brother K Reno. I'm in here with my brother Wash Off. And before we get started, the first thing we want to do is thank God. We want to thank Him for everything that we have and everything that He's blessed us with. And it's crazy because even though we thank Him a lot, we can still never thank Him enough. He blessed us to recognize the truth, learn the truth, and then speak the truth. And once you believe that truth, then it becomes your truth. So speak your truth. Speak it even when it's a little different from somebody else's. Because we gotta understand that it is possible for more than one thing to be right. But what's even better than speaking the truth is living the truth. And then standing on it. Stand on it even when the whole world is coming down on your head. Stand on it even though they gonna call you crazy. They gonna say that your truth is a lie. They might even plot and plan against you. But you stand on it with no fear. Cause when you fear man, you disrespect God. And what good is gonna come out of that? So enough of all this yapping. It's time to hear some truth in this rapping. And as you listen, you'll find yourself having to make a decision. And the question will be, will you ride with the authentic, or will you ride with something that's not really yours, like a car that's rented?
Sit up, and we talking about, me not holding a grudge. I forgive, but I don't forget. And I sit up think about when I was 12 years old, and I had a friend, best friend, and we used to ride the bikes, and he used to have a pistol pack. He was a pistol packer, and riding in bicycles, we'll hit up like roads that wasn't populated. And, we'll have target practice on animals like cows and horses and shit. And, he was crazy with it. I mean, the dude, he introduced me to that type of shit. Dude was crazy with it, shooting up every damn thing he could see. And so one day, we riding on the bicycles, and his daddy was coming. And he was like, hold my gun, my daddy coming. Hold it and I'll get it from you tomorrow, because his daddy will pat him down and search him, because he knew the type of shit that that he was in at such an early age. Smoking weed, all kind of shit. And so I took the gun and rode back to the house and showed my brother, and my brother took the gun from me. And was like, let me hold it. I'm going to do this or do that with it. And I'm being naive. I'm like, okay, go ahead on and take it, and this, that, and other. And so next day I go to school. Homeboy like, man, where my pistol at? Where my gun at? Is what he say. Where my gun at? And I'm like, man, it's at home. He like, I need my gun, man. Bring it tomorrow. And I'm like, all right. So the next day came. I ain't have it. Mind you, my brother got it. So I show up, and he like, man, where my gun? So when he realized that I wasn't going to give him the gun, nigga started sending death threats to me. Saying he going to kill me and all this here old shit. And that wasn't hard for me to believe, because I understand the lifestyle that we was living and the activities that we was participating in. So I understand that, what he was saying could hold some weight. And so, a few years passed, and I'm always looking over my shoulder, always, thinking he gonna come up behind me and, do exactly what he said he was gonna do. And, we 12 years old. Like I say, 12, 13 years old, but we living a big boy lifestyle. I mean, packing pistols, smoking weed, drinking, set claiming, You know what I'm saying? All kind of shit. We doing grown folk shit. So, for me to think different, it would have been absurd. You know what I'm saying? For me to even think different, like, oh, he ain't gonna do what he say he gonna do. But anyway, so I'm looking over my shoulder, and years and years, and I finally run into the dude at the park, at Townwood Park, and I seen him, and initially I averted, but I constrained myself and I said, I need to go and holler at this dude. I need to get this shit over with. You know what I'm saying? So I walked over there where he was at, him and all his people. It was a gang of them. And I walked up on him. I was like, hey, man, what's up? And he was like, Daryl Wash, what's up, man? I say, what's going on? I say, man, you ain't still tripping about that. He was like, oh, man, I ain't worried about that. Nigga, we was kids, this, that, boom, boom, boom. So I'm like relieved, because I'm telling you, that shit was on me, like, for real. I thought the nigga was gonna kill me. And so, nigga was like, man, that shit over with. And, that was that. But like I say, I go back to what I said. I believed that the shit would happen because of the lifestyle that we was living. So I can't put nothing past what he say he would do. I mean, all the shit that we done, shooting up shit and all that, I believe he was going to do exactly what he said he was going to do. But, like I say, it was relief to know that that was done and over with. And boom, I went on about my business. I mean, it wasn't hard for me to believe he was going to do that, especially me being 16 years old and being in the streets and somebody shooting me, you know what I'm saying? Shooting me in the ass, literally. So I'm like, I have a what is it called? Can't think of the name, but I'm paranoid. You know what I'm saying? I'm paranoid, behind, guns, and thinking people gonna do this and do that to me because of the lifestyle I was living. Getting shot, getting robbed, seeing people get shot, all kind of shit. I was paranoid. I had, what is it called? Acute stress disorder or some shit like that. But anyways, that shit was over with. Nigga ain't hold no grudge. He could have easily had that grudge and had that motherfucking banger and ready to pop my ass, but that ain't, how it went. And in retrospect, I feel like I saved his life because, how wild he was at that age, he probably would have been dead or in jail behind killing somebody or something like that. So maybe that's how he thought, the same as I thought. But, that was that. The point is, he ain't had no grudges. I ain't hold no grudges. He forgave me, but he didn't forget. Same way I forgive, but I don't forget. And then my cousin, rest in peace, how me and him used to have our little beefs and shit when we was growing up, and how he used to bully me and all kind of shit. And then I try to get at him, but I couldn't win. And then when I got older, the roles reversed, but I didn't, participate in bullying him or nothing like that. That was something that I let go. I forgave him, but I didn't forget what he did. So I always, had my eyes on him, but it wasn't no grudge or nothing like that. I just was, mindful of what he can, be and who he is, and, wondering if he changed and, things of that nature, which, he pretty much was the same. It just, he wasn't fucking with me. You know what I'm saying? So I forgave, but I didn't forget. I ain't hold no grudges. You know what I'm saying? And that was that. Now, back to part one of this here. Talking about, family member that sold me bullshit car, ran off with my money. what happened to the car. I, drove the car, but each month I had to go and get tags for it, $30 tags, a $30 tags for 30 days, because I didn't have the title so I can get registration. I didn't have none of that because he refused to relinquish the car to me. So every month I'm going getting paper tags, and that shit add up. This here went on for like damn near 2 years. And, thinking back on it, I probably could have probably went about it a different route as far as like trying to get the title. But I wasn't even on that page. I was just, pissed off at what he did and, him not answering the phone and running off with the title. And me not, just not being able to get in touch with him. So my mind was everywhere, And I wound up, me and old girl wound up splitting up. And, the car, we wound up selling the car. And me and her worked out some kind of deal. And I paid her the money that was owed to her behind purchasing the car. I paid her, and that was that. Wound up selling the car for like $500-$600 pennies. Nothing. And the reason why it sold for so cheap is because it had an oil leak that cost like $2,500 to get fixed. It was lights on the dashboard, check engine lights, and all kind of shit. And I understood that when I purchased the car, because in my mind, I'm going to get the car fixed. Anybody who know me know that I buy cars that look like shit and then I fix them up. So this car didn't look like shit. It's just the insides, like the motor and shit needed work. So hell, I was going to do all that. But I wound up getting rid of the car for $500, and dude, he somehow he got the title. I don't know what he did, but he got the title without a family member, and that was that. And so, yeah, dude put me through all that shit behind this here car, and he having the audacity to call me for whatever reasons, and people looking at me like I'm holding a grudge, but I'm not holding no grudge. I just choose not to deal with him. I choose not to deal with that nigga. And that's just what it is. So don't look at me like I'm holding a grudge. You need to understand what a grudge is and understand what having your memory is. You understand? I forgave the nigga long time ago. I just ain't forgot about it. I think that's impossible to forget about it. So me choosing not to deal with certain people in my life, that's my prerogative, like Bobby Brown say. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what happened with that car, and that's where it's at.